What is up, you It's your boy Miguel back at you with another live video. Hey, listen, man. Look, I set the live for Monday at 3:40 only so that I can sneak and do it now because I'm a freaking troll. Man, I got the StreamYard duck in the corner. Let's go.
Another Dr. Bombay production. More hit for the streets.
Y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it is. Y'all gonna stop playing with me.
Give it to me.
I gotta say what's up to derail the conscious clientele. Put the sector on the map, put the sector on his back. Now we got it poppin', we unlock, we drop it 12K on Robbie and couldn't get a pussy poppin'. It's Code, fam, HQ, from Arizona to Baltimore. What it do, Bombay, nigga, you got the juice now, for real. I picked a lemon off the tree, now I'm selling juice for real. Where's the porterhouse? Let's get the beef on the grill. People told me to chill until they witnessed the skills. It's binary. And yes, I started this troll shit. Wesley TG, y'all remember the classics, binary. Bitch, I'm way above average, got a doctorate and it felt like practice. It's binary, this game is way too easy for me. I manufacture beef just to get through my week, it's binary.
I know you've seen better days, they think about running away. Wanna go back to yesterday, but these faux MCs gonna show you the way. Stand your ass up, don't run and hide, or lay down like you're dead inside. You're in the groove now, show you right. So roll your spliff, settle in for the night. I know you've seen better days, they think about running away. Wanna go back to yesterday, but these faux MCs gonna show you the way. Stand your ass up, don't run and hide, or lay down like you're dead inside. You're in the groove now, show you right. So roll your spliff, settle in for the night.
Fire, baby. That's fire. That's what I'm talking about.
Would you tremble?
I'm the big dilf. Don't do that. $100 Patron in the bid at, you heard? Get your money up, not your funny up.
Together. Yeah, check it out, man. I already did the intro. I already did the what's up, YouTube. It is me, your boy Miguel. It's Maya and Miguel. What they will do next, you never could tell. It's Maya. Listen, when trolling goes wrong, Fact has a question. This show, there's no real meat to it, but you guys already know. Sometimes when you're gardening, right, the seeds you really don't think will germinate actually germinate, and produce begins to grow. And then what do we do as people, knowing we had no damn clue that those seeds were going to blossom into produce that can feed your whole damn neighborhood, to the point where they are tired of cucumbers and watermelon. Even your neighborhood expects, like, they know every Thursday they finna get a bag of cucumbers and watermelon. A watermelon and about 6 cucumbers every Thursday. But you know what we do as humans? We try our hardest to take credit for shit we didn't even know was going to happen. Nah, me, know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Fact's question to the beefing sector, and probably to me as well, is what was it? Let me get to it. Him ask, why do y'all continue to talk about the deceased? Because true life is built on living and dying. Without dying, there will be no living.
the way God created all things is compare and contrast. Even God's power was displayed through void. Shall I explain? We don't know the power of let there be light without darkness. So even God uses compare and contrast to display his or her, depending on how you view God, his or her ultimate power and authority. But we have been so brainwashed, not only in America, but sometimes around the world, to look at death as always a bad thing. And when you do that, that means you forget that everyone dies, which is why you should not take for granted what happens on this earth. That is why we have motivation to try to get folks and ourselves all the way together in right, because after death is legacy. For some of us, we believe after death there's life, but there's plenty of us that are atheists and they believe that only after death is legacy. So if you want to talk about why we talk about the deceased, because there's legacy always detached to it. What if we stop talking about Malcolm X? What if we stop talking about Martin Luther King because they died? What if we stop talking about the founding fathers? Some people would love that for America. They would love that shit. But what if we stop talking about those that have did so many great things to better society? Now, let's flip it. What if we stop talking about Genghis Khan? What if we stop talking about Hitler? What if we stop talking about those? What if we stop talking about Stalin? What if we stop talking about those that committed great atrocities in this world? We would forget about it. So why do people talk about the deceased? Because that is part of life. For a lot of y'all that made sense. For a lot of y'all that went over your heads, or for a lot of y'all that you don't even care about logic or truth or reason. I mean, but that's the answer. That's the answer, and that is why. You see, I'm not scared to talk about taboo things. I'm just not. That doesn't mean I'm insensitive. That doesn't mean that I don't care what's going on. That just means I understand the balance in the ebbs and flows of mother effing life. And nothing is going to scare me or steer me away from acknowledging something that can have great effects on my psyche, my emotional health, and my feelings, right? So if death makes me feel a certain type of way, I'm going to explore it. And that's what I did, which is why I find myself often in a lot of religious circles that I don't even particularly believe in. But I learn so much. Shakim Ra used to be, or probably still is, I don't know, Jehovah's Witness. I spent about 6 years studying Jehovah's Witnesses, and they really wouldn't let me up in the Kingdom Hall, but they would come to my house and we would have studies. I was never, ever a Jehovah's Witness. And within that 6-year span of studying the JWs, I was studying the 7-day Adventist. I'm not a 7-day Adventist. I believe the Sabbath can be on Sunday. They're rocking with Saturday, but I want to know why. In all these religious sects, I studied the Mormons. When they bicycle their asses to my house, man, we be having, and it's real discussions. I really want to know the bottom to whatever it is they believe in. Now, I'm saying in atheism, man, what's his name? Christopher Hitchison. Oh, love the dude. Loved him. God is Dead. That book. Loved the book. I loved that book. Loved that book. Studied atheism. At the end of the day, all those things talk about death. And a lot of those religions, they try to use death as a taboo or to scare you to believe what they believe in. I'm not going to be swayed by that, and nobody is going to run me off and tell me I can't talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. So hopefully that answered your question. All right. Let's see if he's here to respond. Right? You don't ask a question and then just run off, right? Let me see if he's here to respond to that, because I thought that was a very thorough answer. You know what I'm saying? Yo, so shout out to Fact, shout out to Shock Rakim. Rasta, baby. What up to my sister in Christ, Stephanie Collins? I see you. Beans and Cornbread is here. Shantae is in the building. Oh, man, I am working overtime. It is Friday, and your boy hit the live button, and I got a lot of work to do, and I still hit the live button because there's just so much going on. Meow, meow. I see you. Who else? Storylines is here. Jazzy, I see you. Happy Friday to everybody. Yo, when the Rennie's in the system, ain't no telling will up. Go will I diss them? That's what they be yelling. I'm a pimp by blood, not relation. Y'all be chasing. I replace them. Hey, shout out to Rennie. It's my homegirl Malik in the building. Got his wrench back. You know what I'm saying? Miss Margot is here. Hey, friend, would you tremble? They got me trying to tremble. Miss Margot, Mrs. Lewis. That's fire, baby.
Fire, baby. That's fire. That's what I'm talking about.
Would you tremble?
They got me over here trying to tremble. Angela T. White. There we go. There's Angela T. White right there. I saw you up in Lemon's chat yesterday, cutting up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Listening with cucumber slices on the eye. You probably got them from me. What up, Black Pearl? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here, up in here. Atlanta girl, ATL gal. Good to see you. Good to see you. Got the Georgia peach. We all know what that symbolizes. All right, so Fact did not respond. Okay. Could it be I don't know. I would love to see his response. What up, Diva D? All right, man. Ask the question, get the answer. I would love to just know your thoughts on my answer. That's all. Unless it's gonna be a paragraph coming. I'm waiting. And shout out to Fact. You know. Oh man. Damn, I forgot the saying. I don't have my notes on me. Damn, he gave me a slogan that I use, but I can't, I don't have my notes. All right, so you see, can I just hone in? Can I just zero in until he answers, right? That's one thing right there where people try to dictate the flow of things, like, hey, why do content creators do this, and why do content creators do that, and why do they talk about this? I fully don't understand. And then you could kind of sense an agitation about it, but then they don't stick around to get the answers to why, right? They don't stick around. So I mean, hey, so some people, you just got to realize they're not asking for a response. They're not asking for an answer, but I'm just going to wait to see his response to what I said. Right. All right. So why? Because those who are still here are trying to figure out what this all means. And that's why we talk about people. Yes, Stephanie Collins. I mean, we're giving legit, dope ass, serious, good answers. So I'm just waiting. It must be a paragraph that we're about to receive, a 3-parter. It has to be, because I don't think Fact is the type of person that will come in, ask a question, and dip just to stir up the pot, especially death, right? Because if he can't fathom why people talk about death and then ask the question and then leave, I don't know. That tells me a little bit about, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to reserve judgment right now. I'm a reserve judgment. All right, what's crazy? Okay, let's jump into it. I don't even know how long I'm gonna be live. It may not be a 2-hour live. Remember, every second that you hear my voice this Friday morning is overtime, right? And when you're working overtime, especially on a Saturday, although I know this is Friday, but when you're working overtime and you're not really supposed, you're just supposed to be in, but it has a different vibe to it, right? You don't work as fast, it's more laughter going on, you're really there just shooting the shit, but you are getting some stuff done. So I don't know how long I'm going to be live. I can't really call it. What up, Catherine Powell? Good to see you, Catherine Powell. Thank you so much for being here. So, let's just go ahead and deal with the elephant in the room, right? Why am I doing this live stream? The reason why I'm doing this live stream is because the narrative is going around that Sherika Chicago's husband, RIP to Sherika Chicago. Can I just jump into something real quick? I am the one that highlighted, how can I put this? Sherika Chicago's overly, how can I put this? Because I know people aren't going to believe me, but I don't care. her I am the one that kind of kickstarted her overly like she started being on panels a lot. I know that I linked up with her in the chat way before she started like frequently hitting panels. I'm not saying she hasn't hit panels before, but way before she started frequently hitting panels, the relationship Sherika Chicago and I had, it grew in the chat, primarily in Envy's chat. And then that type of relationship, that chat relationship, carried on through other people's platform. And so we were really, really cool in the chat, right? Really, really cool in the chat. Yeah, that could work. Kind of got her out of her shell. And I would always troll her in very good spirits. Always. Whether we are in the chat, whether when she started hitting panels with her jacked up devices, I would always talk trash about how she can never get it together. Like, okay, she's going on the 5th time. And I would tell the chat, this is the 5th time. Now we finally get to hear from Sherika. She always had issues jumping on panels, and I found that to be hilarious. And so I would troll her about it, and she would laugh at my black ass when she finally got it together. Right? So there's that. I trolled her and said that she was catfishing. Some people in the beef sector took that troll move, ran with it, said she was catfishing, and even said, well, even Binary said you were catfishing. Did she get mad at me? No, because she knew I was trolling the hell out of her. Like, I was trolling her. And the shit was fun. Trolling Sherika Chicago was fun because she understood what was happening. She understood the more people talked about her, the more popping she would be. Hola, house music. Hola, good to see you. It's Miguel. I got the duck in the corner. I got the duck in the corner. I'm in witness protection, damn it. I am in witness protection. Okay, so I mean, I did a lot as far as interactions with Sherika on YouTube. Now let me go ahead and speak on this. Dysfunctional family support. Let's go. And yes, I understand. Thank you, Mr. Triggs. Thank you, Mr. Triggs. I appreciate that. Look at that. Working overtime just got your boy a little change. You know what I mean? Working overtime just got your boy a little change. Look at that. That on the side money right there. Know what I'm saying? Thank you, Ray Triggs. Appreciate it. Hood says, so we Mexican over here now. Now, this is my incognito. You know, I really don't discriminate when it comes to races or ethnicities or heritages of people, nationalities. I will be what I be. You know what I mean? When I'm hiding, I will hide. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can always be damn it, I forgot his name. Let me just make up a name. I can always be Mr. Dave. Ain't nothing wrong with being Mr. Dave. You know what I'm saying? I can easily be Mr. Dave. I mean, hey. Or I could take it to my troll name. Hold on, let me take it to my troll name. And I got this from the Umar sector, just so you know. Let me take it to my troll name. I could be Dwight. Not Himothy. What up, Himothy? What up, Skunk Freaker? George Costanza. Yeah, that was the goal. I can always be Dwight. I mean, is this better? But I need to hide out because they on my hires. Binary, we're calling your job. That wasn't me. That was Miguel, damn it. That was Dwight. What up, Hummer girl? Yeah, I'm working a little bit overtime. And I tried to do this very sneakily because I am trying to be incognito. Shout out to Incognito. They need to they need to sponsor me, Incognito, because Incognito is one of the best privacy information privacy companies out there. But yeah, I tried. I scheduled this live for Monday, by the way. But I'm doing it right now, right? So there's that. And so yeah, I do have a rich history with Sherika Chicago. I've always had Sherika Chicago's back. In my mind, she could never do wrong. Even when she would overtalk ad nauseum, I would support her. I would, but I would troll. And I think that was one of the main reasons why I loved her so much, is because she understood my assignment on YouTube and she never held that shit against me. So now, before we get into when trolling goes wrong, let's talk about Resto and Lemon's exchange on Resto's platform. Okay? As much as my twin says he doesn't want this to be content, he definitely made this content. I don't care if your intentions are, I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart. If you hit go live, damn it, it's content. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care about intent. When you hit the go live button, it's content. And then when you hit go live and you see whose platform it's on, damn it, it's content. I don't care. I know my twin was like, yo, I'm going to demonetize. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do everything in my power to make my integrity level go up while using this man for content. It's content. It's content. Resto's live was last night or a couple hours ago, 4 hours ago or something. 1 a.m, I think. My time. It's content. No matter how you slice it. Simon's determination to get on your platform is a form of content. You coming and telling us that you decided to not do the live stream is a form of content, because you are informing us on something that should or should not take place. That is content. We watched it, we clicked, we viewed. And then your back and forth with Lemon was content. Look, I'm talking about it right now. Right? So all those things are content. And even what you don't, and this is to my twin, even what you don't want to be deemed as content was content. How can you provide something and then when people start talking about it, you say you don't want it to be content? The best way to have something not be content is to not talk about it. Anytime you talk about something publicly and even during members only, it is content. The conversation between Resto and the husband should have stayed private if Resto did not want that to be content. What up, Queen Me Atlanta? Good to see you, Gert. How's life? Kimberly Black. Hey, y'all don't understand how much I like Kimberly Black. I don't know if she has any biases to her. I don't know. But all I know is she is a damn good chatter. Like, if you have Kimberly Black in your chat, whether she likes you or not, whether she has biases or not, I'm not too sure. She's a damn good chatter. She's witty. She has wit. And I'm still waiting for that response from FAC. I have not seen it yet. He asked the question. I spent a good amount of time answering the question, and I asked for his response, and I still haven't seen anything yet. So that's one of those things where I'm telling you, where people will come through and try to listen. If y'all don't think energy is real, what is wrong with you? Even through chats, energy is real, right? If y'all don't think energy is real, what's wrong with you? Because his question, now, I don't know if it was to me, but it was a good question. And so I answered it very thoroughly because I thought it was an honest question. But it's one of those where I'm going to drop this question and I'm going to dip. Like, I don't understand that. So I don't know. I'm just waiting for a response. That's all. I answered your question and I was asking for a response, but I don't know. It's just weird, man. It's weird. You can't expect too much over him. You can't expect too much over him in the B sector. Yes. The psychological analysis of life and death are in the power of the tongue. There are a lot of things that we do speak into existence. Now, let me tell you this, though. Shout out to my homegirl, Kimberly Black. She probably don't even like me calling her homegirl. But anyway, shout out to her. Just like we do in typical fashion, humans we overly do shit, right? So absolutely, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And manifestation can also be in the power of the tongue and thought, right? Like, we know that. So why did the word of light or word of faith movement hijack Christianity and pretty much have a false doctrine and gospel of speak it into existence, name it, and mother effing claim it, right? They will take a principle like what Kimberly Black just dropped here in the chat. They will take that principle and they will make a whole heresy behind it. And because it fits our fancy and it tickles our ears, we start running behind that. And then when those fake senses of power don't work for us, we tend to blame God, or we blame sin in our lives, right? The word of faith movement, the name it and claim it, blab it and grab it movement does not allow people to understand the beauty in death sometimes, because people are so quick to always pray over somebody that may be ill and say, in the name of Jesus, you will be healed, because they think they have that type of power. But although life and death is in the tongue, and you have to realize that life and death does not mean always physical life and physical death. I don't love you anymore. I think it's best if we get a divorce. That's death. That's death to a relationship. I don't think that this job really values my contributions that I'm making and how much time I spend, because I spend so much time on this job and get very little results or support. This is going to be my last year. I'm going to move on. That is death to that career for that specific company. You know what's crazy is, believe it or not, a lot of people don't have the nuts or the female parts, whatever is equivalent to nuts, to be that powerful with their tongue. They would subject themselves to torture because they can't muster up enough courage to speak life and death to better their situation. Just saying. And so I was listening to Resto's live stream. It's a very good live stream, full of content. Full of content, right? And I am sorry, you guys. I am sorry. But it is unfair to Lemon to put the death of Sherika in his lap. That is not fair at all. But who cares about what's fair, right? Don't nobody give a damn about what's fair. We only give a damn about what sells. It's not fair that one of the only genres of music that destroys a community is hip hop. That's not fair. That's not fair. But who gives a damn? We making money, damn it. Don't nobody give a damn about what's fair and what's not. Don't nobody give a damn about equity. And what I seen when I seen Lemon on my twins platform was one, Resto blaming Lemon for the death of Sherika pretty much, and Resto having that, how can I put this? Having that energy behind him because it was predicated upon and built upon the premise of the husband blaming Lemon. I mean, it is what it is. Now, anybody that could really break down what the husband is going through, like in a very literal sense, because you have went through the same thing, you know he is at a heightened stage of emotion. I don't know that, but there are people listening to my voice that have went through very similar things, and you are the primary source. You know, I'm just secondary. I can only speculate. But if I did have a conversation with that man, I would know how to approach it, and I would know the angle in which he is taking is at a very heightened state. So anything that he says is part of the grieving process. And me, as the individual that's listening, I can't take anything to heart. I can only be there as an ear, not a mouthpiece. You see, Resto was offering to be a mouthpiece. How do I know that? Because the only reason I truly know, outside of him reaching out to me directly and me reaching back to him, but that's a little later. I'm gonna talk about that a little later. But the only reason I truly know that I guess he's upset with me is because Resto is his mouthpiece. How can something not be content when you agreed to be his mouthpiece? Now, you probably didn't do a contract. You probably didn't do any of that, but the agreement was the live streams that you have done, and you have spoke on his behalf. That's the agreement. He may not have asked you to do that, but you took it upon yourself to do that, so you are his mouthpiece. I will not be that man's mouthpiece. The reason why is because the range of emotions that he's going through, they're going to change by the second. By the second. He could be mad at Lemon at 4:27 and then really want to talk to him because Lemon may know some stuff about his wife that he didn't know, that he would really love to know because he desperately misses her at 4:28. At 4:28. What up, TMK? What up, Donna? I know, Donna. I know. This is overtime now. This is overtime. So after we talk about the exchange of Lemon, I'm going to talk about, I guess, my involvement in this whole ordeal, and then I'm going to be out, right? I'm going to be out. So this is not going to be that long of a live stream because when you work overtime, you really don't put the full amount of time in, right? You don't be doing all that. Sometimes you do because you're just greedy and shit. Sometimes you do. I honestly, and I'm going to say this again, this is a double down. I don't think it's right to put the death of Sherika Chicago in Lemon's lap. One thing that my twin was talking about was the environment created by Lemon that led to the death of Sherika Chicago. So if that's the case, you got to go all the way back to T.S. Madison. You got to go all the way back to Wiley. You got to go all the way back to those that, you know, were kind of, and I heard that Wiley wasn't even beef sector at first anyways, but you got to just go all the way back to the inception. That means you got to point fingers at Avatar Nation. That means you got to point fingers at Pizarro. Because they're all part of the environment. If we have to start policing our own environment based off of people that want to support us, we will never be good content creators, ever. Can we blame Resto for somebody that weaponizes his diseases? I'm not saying Resto has a disease, but let's just say there's a guy that has a disease. And he's watching Resto out there, you know, slanging, you know, with his arrangement. And he's really digging what Resto is doing. And so he's like, man, let me get out here and not be responsible. And let me go ahead and give everybody the package. I want to one-up Resto. I want to join Resto in his festivities. You would say, no, you can't blame Resto for that. And you would say that dude has a responsibility to let his partners know what's going on before he engages. And that dude, you just can't, you know, and he better be, you know, using condoms and protection and all that stuff. Like you would put the onus back on them. What up, too much? What up, though? What up, though? I honestly believe Lemon is in a place of grieving. And in my honest opinion, I wish he would just ignore the noise. The beef sector, the Mo3 sector, the black sector, the troll beef sector, the Umar Johnson sector, the chatter is going to happen. Shoot. Excuse me. I was in Lemon's chat last night asking about his thoughts on the husband wanting to talk to him. He ignored it, or he just didn't see it. That's what he needs to continue to do. He's not going to, because he's an opportunist. So I mean, he's going to address things, but he's not going, but that's what he should do. But oh well, I can't tell him what to do. Can't force him to do things. Even if you can see as clear as day it's the right thing to do, you know. But if he's listening to this, I implore you, Lemon, to ignore the chatter. Very objective, very subjective. Those are thoughts, yeah. He needs a little break, like a week. He needs to grieve. Understood. I agree. And I honestly believe he needs more than a week. He needs more than a week. Listen, I have had my fair share of staring death in the eye. I have not had to experience death this close to home like Sherika Chicago's husband, but I have had my fair share of staring death in the eye. And I crumbled. I crumbled. I crumbled. I could not stand. I could not. I was paralyzed. I turned into a Walking Dead zombie. life as I knew it has shifted, which is why I can't even fathom the thought of what he is going through. But to try to target Lemon and make this his fault as content creators, I honestly think we need to do better. And here's why. One thing I don't want is for Lemon's emotions to overtake him to the point to where he is no longer in control of himself and the spirits begin to control his thoughts. Why do you think they call alcohol spirits? Because when you consume too much, you are no longer in control of yourself. You black out, you wake up covered in blood, wondering, what did I just do? One thing I want us to never let out of our brain, even as much as if you can't stand Lemon, you know, he's done you wrong, he's done this, you know, and you're taking great pleasure in his depression. This is what I don't want us to forget, right? And I'm still waiting for Fact's response because he did come in here and ask a question. And I don't know, man. I just don't know how I feel about that because I'm telling you there's energy attached to that. But I'm still waiting for his response. He still has not responded. He came in here. He asked a very deep question, and I gave a deep answer. And I said, hey, how did you feel about that answer? I would love to know your thoughts. And so that just tells me, oh, you're going to drop in, try to drop that. I don't know what that was, but I answered it very thoroughly because I really wanted to get his take on the response that he was looking for. And it's nothing. What up, honey love? And here it is, what I was going to say about Lemon. What we cannot do, right, is downplay his relationship with Sherika. My relationship with Lemon online is very, very shallow, right? A very shallow relationship. Never talked to him on the phone, never once spoke to him behind the scenes, never did anything. Very, very shallow, right? But Lemon does have certain relationships that go beneath the surface. And Sherika Chicago was one of those relationships that went beneath the surface. They genuinely liked one another behind the scenes. Exactly, Kimberly Black. That David stuff is insane, isn't it? It's insane. What up, LaDon? Not LaDon Ra. Lord help me. LaDon Ra. What up, Dreamy? Yeah, that David situation is insane, and it's a fascinating story to cover. Fascinating. I'm not covering it. I'm just following it. Fascinating. They said that girl has been deceased for 2 years before they found her. Man. Anyways, back to it. And so he had a different type of relationship. And so if we meaning sectors, if we keep trying to put this death in his lap, you never know what the spirits are going to do with that type of emotion, especially because we can see as clear as day Lemon is entertaining the notions because he is trying to defend himself. Something that he said over at Resto's platform was, and mods, if you got Resto's link, can you please drop it in the chat so people could go see that video? Shout out to my twin. One thing that he said, right, on Resto's live stream was, and I'm over here defending myself. And he said it in as a matter of fact way. He didn't say it like, I shouldn't be over here defending myself, or you got me over here defending myself, or this or that. And he said in a very matter of fact way that I am over here defending myself, as if everywhere he goes, it's his mission to make sure that his name is good and he's going to defend himself. That's his mission. When he gets drunk enough, all of the defending himself is going to come back. And it's going to come back when he is probably in Discord, you know, singing the Juice World, staring into the camera, right? It's going to come back. And that defense of himself is going to come back, and it's going to be a losing case. Because the prosecution is armed with the prosecution is armed with so much information, whether true or false, it's overwhelming. And so if he has enough to drink and he tries to find solace or comfort or tranquility in the fact that he is trying to keep his name clean, and then he tries to examine, re-examine, evaluate his tour within these sectors and within these spaces of defending himself, he is going to be found wanting. We don't know what type of emotion that will spark. Now imagine that coupled with Sherika Chicago's image in your mind. Imagine that coupled with the conversations you had on and offline. Imagine that coupled with maybe some text or Instagram exchanges. And you have a bunch of people telling you that you drove this woman to drink and caused her demise. That could lead to something. And what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to help Lemon out so that it doesn't lead to what we know it could lead to. Lemon, it was not your fault. It was not his fault. Now, let's go ahead and shift gears. And I can see that forever, ever. He don't care for nobody, but I'm not going to sit here and throw that on that man because it was not his fault. And thank you, Rennie. I appreciate that. Not LaDon saying if she was a mod, she would do it. Lord Jesus, help me. LaDon, you and I need some more time. Do I even have you on Instagram, Gert? You ain't even on my Instagram, Gert. There you go. Hey. Let's go. Let's go. Stephanie Collins. Oh, okay, Catherine. Look at Catherine. Clearing some things up with LaDon. Now here's a hard. Oh, you are on my Instagram? Wait, what? Send me a message, Gert. Send me a message right now. And it better not be requesting. to follow. Damn it. I think you are on my Instagram. Shit. Wait, hold on. Yeah, send me a message. I need to see that shit pop up. Just say hi. Or just say, Negro, how did you forget? Or just anything you want to say. I just need something to pop up right now. Show me. All right, here we go. This is the hard conversation that needs to be out there. This is the tough conversation that everybody's skating around. I'm not scared to talk about it. Oh, Lord, Dreamy. Why you gotta go? Dreamy, I know we one of the messiest ass chats, but why you gotta, come on, Dreamy. Oh, dang, Stephanie. Stephanie's in the chat, really dropping some jewels. Here it is. What is eventually going to happen is we are about to find out the dynamics between Sherika and her husband. R.I.P. to Sherika. I really still it just pains me to even say that. Like it's still not real. It's not real in my mind. I can tell that the husband, I think I'm going to call him Bobby. I think his name's Bobby. I could be wrong. But we're going to get to that part of why I think his name's Bobby. Resto knows his name. I don't know his name, but I think his name's Bobby. I could be wrong. I'm just going to call him Bobby until somebody corrects me. But I can tell what Bobby is doing is what a lot of content creators do, and it is a mistake. Bobby is now running to YouTube and trying to allow YouTube to be his therapist. Bobby is searching for answers that cannot be answered. And in his pursuit, in his search, what he doesn't realize is going to happen is he is going to overshare. How do I know this? Because a lot of content creators have fell victim to this, me being one of them. He is going to overshare. He might be listening to this because as of right now, he has a problem with me. I have a gut feeling that I know what his problem really is with me, and it's not what the streets is saying that it is. Because you leave it up to the YouTube streets, Sherika's husband's problem with me is the fact that I trolled Sherika and said that she showed me her tatas, right? Because she accidentally cammed up when I was bringing her up. And so I trolled the living. Let me stop. But I trolled her, right? I trolled her. And she was so cool with it because the shit was funny and it was fun. And she knew I was trolling. And 90% of the chat knew I was trolling. And even Pizarro knew I was trolling. But I heard that Pizarro was the one that said he might be upset because she showed him her boobies. Don't forget, though, because I find this interesting, that Pizarro was one of the main advocates saying that, Sherika ain't show you nothing. She ain't show you nothing. But now, all of a sudden, she showed me something. That's strange to me. But I'm going to leave that right there. I'm just going to leave that right there. I'm telling you guys right now, yes, that's when trolling goes wrong. Now I have to deal with being a troll, right? I got to deal with that shit. He probably had no clue about that, but now I'm going to have to speak about that troll move, and I'm going to have to try to explain myself. And I hate doing that shit. I hate explaining how I troll. Like, I hate it. What's the point of trolling if you got to speak up for those in the back that really take everything literally? Everything. Does Binary even have any Hispanics in his family? Who is this Miguel? Storylines, those are facts. Those are facts. She played along with it. She was laughing. It was funny. It was a moment. But that is not the reason why he is upset with me. And we're going to jump into that reason shortly. Because I have not landed my plane on my caution to Bobby. I'm calling him Bobby. I think that's his name. I could be wrong. What up, Rhonda? Thank you for being here. Jakari, thank you for being here. Here we go. Now, why do I got to be Genghis Khan? So many elements. Why do I got to be Genghis? I even mentioned his name earlier, damn it. He is going to fall into the territory of oversharing. And what's going to end up happening? Okay, here we go. Code Stradamus. Here we go. Here it is. Code Stradamus, y'all. I'm telling you. Code Stradamus right here. Because he's going to overshare, the shift from blaming Lemon is going to be put right back into his lap. I can't even imagine that shit happening. But I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Here's why. And I actually hope he's listening to this, taking notes, it actually like pondering what it is that I am saying, because I know I'm speaking facts right now. I know it. And I'm not scared to speak facts. And I don't care what people think about me when I talk about topics I want to talk about. I don't care. I'm not scared to talk about things. I'm not scared of death because I know death and life are hand in glove. I know death and life are night and day. I know death and life are on and off. I know death and life is cause and effect. Like, I know those things. I am not numb to the principle. But I do also know that life and death are jam-packed and equipped with emotions. So I'm not stoic in the sense that I don't have any feelings towards either. I have great feelings, but I understand the time that we're in. I understand it. Shout out to Terry Me, a member for 5 months, one of the first. Good morning, and thank you for listening, because I know you be having long days and nights, so thank you for listening. What is going to happen is we unfortunately on YouTube, and I'm part of the machine. I'm part of the matrix. We are going to take the information given. We are going to pick that shit apart. And we are also going to do inferences. And we are also going to add speculation. And we are going to give our take. And some content creators are going to start questioning his relationship with Sherika. Where were you when she was buying the alcohol? Where were you in the entire process of her YouTube journey? How much did you guys genuinely talk about her time on YouTube? What all did you do to prevent these things from happening? And listen, I'm saying it like this and it sounds harsh. Everybody in their grandmama knows what sector he is in. Once he starts really opening his mouth, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the main reason that I actually did hit the go live button. I hit the go live button because, I got the kites, I listened to Resto's live, I got numerous people hitting me up talking about how Sherika's husband, I think his name's Bobby, I could be wrong, but Sherika's husband is really upset with me and he really wants to talk to me. Here's the reason why he is upset with me. Like the real reason and not some fabricated beef sector reason, right? Of a troll move, right? And if I have to explain that, I will, even though I don't want to, but I will, because it's so stupid, right? He is under the impression that I am a pastor. Facts, Kimberly Black. Facts on top of facts on top of facts. Public opinion will disarm him if he is not prepared. On top of processing grief. Damn it, those are facts. And I mean, you can see it as clear as day that is exactly what's about to happen. You can see it. So here we go. He thinks for whatever reason that I am a pastor. He is upset because when Lemon broke the news over here, I didn't react how he thought I should have reacted as a pastor. You see, that misconception already puts him behind. When he started dropping things, I can't wait to get to this part. When he started and this is all freestyle. When he started dropping things in my comment section, all I could see was a grieving husband and father. And I actually told him, I will open up my platform and I will have a discussion with him. And I don't care if people are saying I'm doing it for content. So what? You want to know why I don't give a damn what other people think? Because I know for a fact I am the best to deal with this situation if he's going to do it anyways. I am the most equipped to handle this type of situation if he's going to do it anyways. So I don't give a damn what anybody says about me if I do talk to this man. I don't care what y'all think. I bet on myself. I bet on myself. And I'm not going to shy away from topics. I am going to try my hardest to help navigate his thoughts. I am going to try my hardest to make sure he has a real ear that hears him. And I am going to try my hardest to ask him questions that breaks through the zombie-like state that he may be in right now and at least wake him up a little bit. So if he wants to talk to me, and if he wants to be on my platform, and if he wants to air out his grievances, and if he wants to do this, and if he wants to do that, I'm going to do it. And I don't care what nobody says. I don't care. Because what is going to happen with this type of content is somebody else will also get blessed by it. Because somebody was bold enough to have deep, genuine discussions about feelings that we tend to suppress. Somebody's bold enough to have those discussions. I'm not running from those discussions. I'm running towards those discussions. We need those discussions. This is one of the primary reasons why Black folks, our community, does not thrive the way that it should thrive. Because we always think something is taboo. We always think something's not worth talking about. Every time we can elevate in thought and spirituality, we always downplay the shit, and I'm not for it. I'm not for it. So I don't care what people think about me. You know what's going to end up happening? Maybe a year from now, people are going to appreciate the mother effing live stream. If he even wants to do something, they're going to appreciate how it was nothing held back and how we got to see genuine emotions from both sides, mine and his. And here's another reason why I think it would be great for me to have a public discussion with this man instead of any other of y'all. Because I did not have any behind the scenes chats with Sherika. Zero. I don't do behind the scenes. I don't do it. As he is going through every electronical device that she has, he is not going to see my name anywhere because I don't do that. I don't. And here's one of the reasons why. This is case and mother effing point. Look at this. Look at the mess. I don't do behind the scenes. I just don't. I don't entertain running plays and trying to set people up and doing this or doing that. I don't flirt with women behind the scenes. I don't do none of that shit. You guys are listening to somebody that genuinely, honestly, truthfully is madly and deeply in love with his wife. And that would go to the moon and back for his mother effing family. That will lift and elevate his family and will get deeply involved with whatever the hell it is that they want to get into, whatever they want to do. You are listening to a person that genuinely cares about his family and does not want anything to disrupt that, and will fight tooth and nail to make sure that his family is secured. That's why Mrs. Code trusts my black ass on YouTube. Mrs. Code can always go to my Instagram and read every single message if she so chooses. She can listen to every single live stream if she so chooses. She could do my life. I have nothing concealed. So it's not like I'm sneaking around. So when Resto says things like, and I don't know why he's so upset with binary, but he really wants to talk to him, it's because he left me public comments thinking that I'm some type of pastor. Now, y'all have to catch this. He thinks I'm some type of pastor, right? And so what he's doing is he's taking all of his misconceptions of what a pastor is supposed to be, and he's projecting that shit on me. He's upset. He is grieving. He is going through some shit that I've never been through ever in my life. So I understand it. But guess what? When he talks to me for real, he's going to see that all of those misconceptions are false. They are wrong. I'm not scared to have the conversation. Now, if he does want to have a conversation with me, guess what? He's going to have to reach out to me publicly. I'm not Resto. I'm not Lemon. He does not have access to me privately. Think about it. The only reason he has access to Lemon and Resto privately is because they were talking to his wife behind the scenes. God damn. The only way he can really reach out to me, and this is why he was probably telling Resto, I really got to connect with Binary. I got to see, I'm upset with Binary. I got to talk to him. I got to reach out to him somehow. The reason why he was saying that to Resto is because he really doesn't have any means to reach out to me. The only means he really has to reach out to me is publicly. And so that is why he has this heightened sense of frustration with Resto, because he doesn't really know how to capture my ear. He stays on green in Discord, according to Resto. With this grieving process, he wants somebody to message Sherika so that he can talk. He desperately misses his wife. Has anybody that talks to him behind the scenes acknowledged that with him? And I'm not talking about the fluffy, my condolences. I know this must be hard. I can't even understand the first thing. I can't even begin the first thing. Has anybody asked him? Has anybody asked him? Has anybody asked him this? I know it's hard. Can you explain to me just how much you miss your wife? Who's asked him that question behind the scenes? Who's asked him that for everybody that's so freaking concerned? Who has really sat down and asked him, hey, explain to me how much you really, really, really miss your wife? Now, to some of y'all would think that that's a harsh ass question. It's not. That is a question that is going to spawn all types of memories that he actually needs to think about when dealing with his wife. It's going to spawn all of the good things. It's going to make him feel good as he is pouring out to you all of the things he loved about his precious wife. But let me guess, none of you guys asked him that. You want to know why? Because as much as y'all say it's not for content, damn it, it is. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. If you didn't do the homework to figure out how to deal with a grieving husband, then it's for content. I don't give a damn. It's not for his own well-being. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. All I know is when it comes to the sector, I am the perfect person for him to talk to. I'm the perfect person. LaDon, those are facts, damn it. Anything we put on YouTube is content. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care. And another thing that I can't stand about toxic spaces, it's not just the B sector, but it's all sectors that I frequent, because y'all know I'm a messy arse person and I love toxicity, but I also love balance, right? I cannot just be toxic. I can't be on go 100% of the time, because that's detrimental to everything good that I got going on in my life, right? But I don't want to be a zombie robot or these overzealous religious people that you think, you got this high moral, you're on this high horse. I can't be that either. So I need the balance. I need the devil on one shoulder and I need the angel on the other. Damn it. But this is something I cannot stand, is when people that participate and contribute to all of the effery and toxicity somehow shift and think that they stand on some type of moral high ground. Miss me with any of that. Miss me with that. None of us genuinely have a right to tell anybody anything about the goodness of anything. Generally, none of us have it. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that's the pot calling the kettle black. Cut it out. It behooves me at times when I see people jump on this moral high ground, as if what others is doing is wrong and what they continuously do is getting pushed down and overlooked as they're pointing fingers. It's a biblical passage that I love. How in the hell do you expect to get the speck out of your brother or sister's eye when you got a damn plank in your own? The imagery of that is crazy, because if you break down the imagery and you do cross-referencing, and if you do hermeneutics, proper hermeneutics of that passage, what it's really saying, right, is a speck of sand. You're trying to get a speck of sand out of your brother and sister's eye while you're walking around with like a pirate's plank. Like, can you check the imagery? Like a pirate's plank hanging out of your eye. How are you even going to be able to reach that person's eye to get the speck out when you mobbing around knocking everybody over with a pirate's plank in your mother effing eye? What's up, Godspell? Good to see you. What's up, lovely one? What up, folk? What up, Keena? Keena's starting to become one of my faves. I like Keena. What up, CEO? What up, peoples? Thank y'all so much for being here. Butter Pecan, I see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all. For real, for real. For real, for real. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I just had to come on here and say my side of things. Body Works, what's going on? I had to say it. Misunderstood. Hey, what's going on, Misunderstood? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being over here, homegirl. Appreciate you. So bomb, thank you. Is Shakim? Oh, Shakim. Hey, there's the big homie right there. Shakim, good to see you, friend. Thank you so much for being here this morning. All right. Okay. All right. Looks like I got about a good 30 minutes. Yvonne, thank you for being here, homegirl. Y'all see that, right? Yvonne A says, I lost my husband. Was hard, is hard, may always be hard. But look how she's talking about it. Because there's healing involved when you don't suppress. So thank you, Yvonne A, for being vulnerable. Shout out to Kimberly for that. I see that. That's right, lovely one. That's right. It is his way of connecting with her. His world is going to expand once he sees her impact in this world. Once he, and I think his name, I swear, I think his name's Bobby. I think one of the comments, his name was Bobby on there. But once he connects with Mika and he sees his wife's impact on Mika's platform, and he sees the interviews and the content and all of those things, he is going to be thoroughly impressed with his wife. Thoroughly impressed. Lord forbid something happens to me, or Lord forbid something happens to my wife, but I do know that she will be doing deep dives into everything I got going on. One, she has access, right? I have access to her life. She has access to my life. Now, we typically don't go into each other's spaces like that, unless, she's just curious or I'm just curious or whatever, but we typically don't do that. But if something was to happen to either one of us, we could easily get into those spaces. Easily get into those spaces. There's not a password she does not know. There's not a password she does not know. There's not a password I don't know of hers. My wife and I, we plan for death. If you have life insurance, you plan for death. If you have a will, you plan for death. That is a mistake that most folk in the Black community face, is that we think we are going to live forever. Or we always want to deal with stuff as it comes. The most powerful people on the planet are Black folks that prepare, damn it. And this is no hate towards any other race. I'm just speaking for my people. And I'm telling the damn truth because we built majority of the mother effing planet, damn it. The most powerful people on the planet are Black folks that prepare. It's just, it is what it is. But unfortunately, the devil knows that shit. And whoever the devil is to you in your life, that's who I'm talking about. The devil knows that shit. And so one of the operating factors that the devil uses is to get us to not know just how powerful and, let me throw this out there, righteous we really are as a people group, damn it. And so if Sherika Chicago's husband hears this, which he should, for y'all that continuously talk to him behind the scenes, please send him this link, damn it, if you really care. Send him this link to this video and tell him it is a must watch if you genuinely care. Because you know what? If you really, really care, guess what's going to happen when you send him this link? I'm going to have about 30 extra views because he's probably going to watch this shit on repeat, damn it. As a matter of fact, let me speak as a matter of fact. I know he's going to watch this on repeat. Because I know I'm genuinely honoring his wife, who I believe was a great woman, in whom I would never disrespect behind the scenes, him or her and their relationship, ever. I'm telling you guys the honest to God truth. The reason he's upset with me and the reason he wants to reach out is because this man wants to talk to a pastor, damn it. I know, misunderstood. I'm in hiding, by the way. I'm in hiding. Please, Resto, send him the link. As you should have, Ladon, and I bet you that helped you a ton. Now, it definitely doesn't get rid of the pain. I mean, I, I, I can't even fathom. But at least you did that. Yeah, MU, I'm in hiding. You see the basic background. You see the duck in the corner. I'm Miguel. I'm Miguel. Look, when you tell the honest to God truth, they try to take you out. Misunderstood. Misunderstood. When you standing on big business, they try to take you out. When Malcolm X and Martin Luther King decided to get together, they both had to go. And they try to martyr you, misunderstood. They try to martyr you. You can even be banging for your set. But just like the Pharisees said about Jesus, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, when they were plotting Jesus's demise, this is what they said: it's better that we take one out and save many. Damn, they didn't realize the prophecy. What they thought was they were going to take Jesus out and save the minds of the people that they were brainwashing. They didn't realize that was the plan of God. They're going to take Jesus out and save many. Many upon many upon many upon many in Jesus' name. That's what happened to, well, let me not be so as a matter of fact, even though I am in hiding. But I mean, we just witnessed somebody get shot in the neck. And now that topic in that camp, they have been elevated. Now that person that got shot in the neck, his wife is being used. His family's being used. They have real energy behind them. I'm not saying it was a setup, but I am saying it was something. It's crazy how this shit works. And so look, as much as I love my people, I am going to speak to y'all in hiding, damn it. What up, Cosmic Girl? MU is crazy, right? I'm going to speak to y'all in hiding, shit. I am not Martin Luther King. I am not Malcolm X. Shit, I am not Synetter. I am not none of that. I am not Tariq. What's his name? Tariq Nasheed. I am not Umar Johnson. I am not Taharka Bey. I ain't none of that shit. I am not. What was the young man that pretty much went insane? What was his name? I did so much commentary on him. Now I can't. Young Pharaoh. I ain't none of that shit. Damn it. Oh, hail to the no. Hail to the no. Y'all ain't gonna catch me on that shit. I am John the mother effing Baptist. No, I ain't even John the Baptist. Look, I ain't dying for y'all. Damn it. I ain't dying. That shit ain't happening. I love y'all, but I'm not that dude. You ain't rallying behind me. That shit ain't happening. I ain't even John the Baptist. I had to rethink that shit. His head was on a platter. Damn that. Damn all that. Shoot. When it comes to shit like that, my wife has more guts than I do. Hey, Tazaric, how do you say his name? I always forget how to say Captain's name. Am I him? Hell no. I think he'd be out there on the front lines. Damn all that. You're damn right, Kimberly Black. I am not a martyr. Nope. I'm not even the king of the Umar sector. Whenever they try to prompt me up in any sectors, I refuse. I refuse. Storyline says she more like Saul than Paul up in his mug. Not all hell, Lemon King of the B sector. You already know what you're doing with that body works. You ain't shit. But that's it right there, y'all. That's what I got. I hope you guys enjoyed the candidness of this live stream because I'm not tiptoeing around deep subjects that can benefit people, that can benefit me. I'm not tiptoeing around that. And you know what? Let's see. I got about 10. I got about 20 minutes. And I cannot go over 20 minutes. When 20 minutes hit, the outro's coming and I'm out of here. You can be in mid-thought, deep discussion. I don't care. But I got 20 minutes. So I'll drop the link. I'm not going to pin the link. So you either catch it or you miss it. All right. Because I know all I got is 20 minutes. Anybody can come up here and talk to Miguel. It's Maya and Miguel. Nope. Nope, LaDon. Nope. You ain't linking me up with the House of Consciousness, damn it. I actually have friends in the House of Consciousness. And I have friends that are outside of the House of Consciousness that give them content and they do go back and forth, like actual real life friends. It's crazy how that works. I'm not going to drop their names because, you know. Hey, LaDon Ra is here. What it is, though.
Good morning. I'm just going to take advantage of this moment because my voice is hoarse. Sayonara. Sayonara. Sayonara.
I ain't no signetter. Ooh, so how you been? You've been going through some things, I see, trying to get your footing over here in the sector and stuff. I see, you know, of course you're going through the growing pains and all that. Go ahead.
No. I have definitely created my own lane. Shout out to the chat.
Let's go.
I have definitely created my own lane. I parted ways with certain people.
Damn.
And I just can't. I mean, I know you ain't been around and it's kind of hard to navigate, but I mean, we'll catch up on the back end on that situation. But I'm definitely creating my own lane. I'm getting back into talking about recovery. You know, I'm honing that Black lesbian sector thing. I have a lot of subbies that's unnamed, unknown, and they want the queen to put on her rainbow crown and wear it. And then I also have some people in recovery that has asked for me to come back out and do what I do best.
I love that. I really do love that.
Yes. So Malik's show came through yesterday. I'm gonna do it again today. As long as since I'm not working, I might as well use this time to help the people. I definitely understand what you're saying as far as your abilities to coin through what that man really needs.
Exactly.
You know, people don't understand everything that's put on here is content, whether it's good, bad, ugly,
facts.
And I think that if anyone should have a conversation with that man, it should be someone who does not have a biased opinion about that man or anyone who was attached to his wife, girlfriend, whatever, his life partner.
Exactly.
But your background does help with that. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts. You know, go ahead.
And give you your props on that because people don't always pay attention to words and dialect and the things that people do and say when we're on here. And you are one person that I definitely took a liking to because I'm like, this dude is naturally talented and naturally intelligent.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know,
I appreciate that. That's what's up for real. And I really do appreciate that. Like, I'm not just saying that, you know, I did get goosebumps when you said it. My head did grow a little bit bigger, but you know, I really do appreciate those words.
I mean, and I'm fairly, you know, y'all new to me, you know what I'm saying? Because I was gone for a while, but coming back and seeing good, fresh people, although we got our mess, but people that can stand up, people that can send messages, people that can say things without saying it. Some of the things you do, people don't even understand. Like, prime example, the money situation. When I seen it, I caught it. I said, y'all stupid. That was a refund. Y'all stupid. That was a refund. I caught it. But listen, that's just, you know, binary. I do support you. Don't ever forget that. You know, I want to make sure I give people their flowers and let them know that I respect them. And the reason I'm here is not because everything has to be drama and bullshit. Because on my channel, you don't see that. You see a little mistake. The only person cussing and act the fool is me. But, you know, but we got to keep this shit going. I always say slow and steady wins the race. And not everyone here is trying to be a Tasha K or a T.S. Madison or
Exactly.
a Star Report, you know, but
Hmm.
we all have a message. And I just want to thank you for what you're doing.
That's
And I
what's up.
mean that. That ain't no
Hmm.
fake shit. This ain't no BS. I just wanted to come and say that and let you know, I still can be your first lady. Shout out to
Hey,
Yaya. But I may not be here all the time because I'm a mother. But when I can come, I
understood, and I
will
love
come.
that. I love
Yes.
that. Hmm.
Sign that.
Oh Lord Jesus, help me.
And I just wanted to say too, you dropped some names that I
Mhm.
haven't heard in a long time today. So I know we was in some spaces together and didn't even know it.
Probably,
We
probably.
definitely were. If you said Sinetter, I know you was there. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
there
Hmm.
too.
Yep,
Yep.
yeah. Hmm. We
Yes,
were,
but you
we
know
were, we
what?
were running in them same circles. I already know.
Yes. God bless you,
Mhm.
bro. You know,
All right,
I stand 10 toes down with you. And that's the fact. I ain't gonna hold you because I know you got 12 minutes left. Bye.
absolutely. Peace. Yeah, that's Ladon. She came up here and blessed the platform. Thank you so much, Ladon. I already got a big ass head, but I don't mind it growing a couple of centimeters. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ladon for doing her thing, and shout out for her contributions to this space, right? Because we all know where her platform is, we all know where her channel is, and we can always go over there and be educated, especially when it deals with topics that generally lesbians need to hear, need to know, or want to discuss, a sounding board. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So shout out to her. Shout out to her. Now, Ladon, you are a mod, but mod sticks don't really mean too much over here. It just means we cool, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So please don't use that. Don't use it. Don't use it until you start realizing how we give it up over here as a code fam, right? And then you can start using it, because then you'll know how we really do it. So I wouldn't use it, because as fast as I give it to you is as fast as I'll take it away. So I mean, it's just that simple. But shout out to Ladon, just her coming up here in so eloquently, I think that's how you say it, eloquently, dropping that science knowledge and understanding of what's really going on. I had to mod her up. No, I mean, it is what it is. Here we go. Here we go. Cool. 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 So it looks like I got about 15 minutes, 10 minutes. It looks like I got a good 10 minutes. If anybody else wants to hit that moving link, right? It's a moving link. It's not pinned, right? It's not pinned. It's moving. Anybody that wants to hit that moving link can come on up here and holla at your boy if you want. Okay, so while we wait, if anybody wants to hit the link, while we wait, let me continue on talking about how I see the way that people are using this situation to bring attention to themselves. When I say that, I already know that people think that that's a bad thing. Even the people that are using this situation to bring attention to themselves, even they subconsciously think that it's a bad thing. I'm telling you right now that it is not a bad thing. Just because you are using that situation and you're bringing attention to yourself, okay, now that you have the attention, what are you doing with it? That's where the rubber meets the road. What are you doing? Now that you have the audience, now that you have used this situation and you have the audience, what are you doing? You guys don't understand how fast I clicked ODS's channel when I saw the thumbnail and I read the title about royalty. Rest in peace to royalty. She has one of the sweetest voices in this sector. Rest in peace to royalty. I clicked on that video so fast. Now, that was a tribute to royalty. But where did it bring me? It brought me to ODS. So ODS used that situation to get attention and show his respects. And so he got the attention. What did he do with it? He honored royalty like nobody's business. He did a phenomenal job honoring royalty, paying his respects, allowing others to come up and show honor and respect to royalty. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. When most people talk about how others are quote unquote capitalizing off of people's deaths, right? It's probably because they know what they would do. Do I have to rewind that? Do I got to put it in subtitles or something? Shout out to Sue Surf. Shout out to Hitman Holla. Do I got to remix it? Most of the time when people are complaining about others, talking about the death of people that we genuinely cared for and was rocking with us for years upon years, most of the time it's because those people are projecting. They know what their asses would do. That's really what it boils down to. I don't like when people talk about the deceased or this or that and using it for this or that. Why would people do that? Why would? You mean why would you do that? You don't like what you would do? Because who in their right mind would fault ODS for what he did? I don't even fault my twin for what he did. The more we talk about these situations, the longer a royalty in Sherika will live in our thoughts and heart. Damn it. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. Why are we always so quick to want to get over some shit? We're so quick to want to move the hell on from some shit. Sometimes you just need to rest. Damn it, rest. Sometimes reflection and meditation is healthier than just skating past and zooming through shit. I am probably in the minority that loves seeing Sherika and royalty's name in titles. And whenever I see it, I click. Because I don't care about the content creator's intent. I just know that they are keeping those names alive. And I am not saying that every single content creator needs and has to talk about this shit, but I'm saying, why don't y'all just back the hell up and allow other content creators to do whatever the hell it is that they want to do? Because while you're talking your shit about them, I guess in your words, capitalizing off of death. Hey, yo, LaDon, welcome to the Codification Squad. Let's go. She is now a member up in this piece. I appreciate that. She's part of the Codification Squad. You know, Codification is a mod and a member. So let's go. Thank you so much for that membership, LaDon. I really, really do. I appreciate that. I really do. There is no real pleasure that I get when thinking about the death of people that I've spoken to online. There is a thin line between pleasure and joy. There is a joy when I hear people speaking good about those that I've had conversations with online and they have passed away. There is a warm joy. There is a smile that goes across my face. When listening to ODS and listening to Yaya talk about royalty, it was warm. There was a joy, but it was hurtful. There's no pleasure. That's why the Bible speaks about how people will not rob your joy. You could be going through the most traumatic shit in your life, but your joy doesn't get robbed because you know where you stand. Thank you, Global Empire, and thank you for that word, Diva D. Addiction is hard to click off of, Diva D. Addiction is hard to click off of, and I think you know that, right? You could be like, I ain't trying to hear this. Let me log off. And then for whatever reason, you're scrolling on YouTube, you see names in the titles, you see this, you see that. It's very, very tough, but you have to make that conscious decision and that real effort to stay off for a while. Last thing, I still don't think it's right, you guys, to blame Lemon for the passing of Sherika. It's just not right. It's not right. Now, as much as I troll the hell out of Lemon, and as much as I love watching him spiral out of control, the shit's funny to me. With the way that he drinks, and if you're going to put that on him, you never know what could potentially happen. You never know. At the end of the day, Sherika's husband wants to have a conversation. If he wants to talk to me, I would love to do it publicly. Look at me being different than everybody else. I don't want to talk to him behind the scenes. I don't. And here's the reason why. And then I'm going to end it. The reason why I don't want to talk to him behind the scenes is because I know he is going to talk to somebody publicly. Like, I know it. No matter what our discussion is behind the scenes, no matter how much, I listen and I'm a sounding board, I respond when response is needed. None of that shit is going to matter. He is going to want to address shit publicly. And so I'm going on record right now, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it with my chest. I only want to talk to him publicly. Damn, now you got to make me break out the Bible real quick, even though it's time for me to go. Let me see. Let's go to Luke. I always keep the Bible on me. So let's go ahead and go to Luke real quick. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, go to my book list. Go to Luke. And we're going to go to 9. Chapter 9, verse 60. I'm in the new international version, but I pretty much read the ESV, but I like the NIV because it's just more plain. But, there's mistakes and stuff in it. Let's see here. Damn. Got to get all the way to verse 60. All right. Jesus said to him, "Let the dead bury their own dead, but you go and proclaim the kingdom of God." Yeah, so that passage right there is going to take a lot of exegesis and a lot of hermeneutics. You can't just explain it in 2 minutes, right? That's going to take a lot. Because when you look at that passage, right, you're going to think that Jesus is speaking very harshly, and he's not. there is a shit ton of context to that passage that I can't just give a quick roundabout answer to, right? I mean, you got to really dig deep. One, you got to think about the times. Two, you got to realize he is actually talking to specific people, and why is he telling those specific people that? And three, what was the actual mission, right? So you can't just, there ain't no way. So there are two things that I want to jump into when it deals with the Bible, and we'll probably have 25 people in the chat, but we'll probably have 1 million on the replay. So that'd be great. Two things I want to jump into. I want to do a comparison of the destruction of Jerusalem in AD 70 in Revelation. I think that's fascinating. And for those that actually read the Bible and know a little bit about eschatology, the end times, the study of the end times, I think that you would find that fascinating as well. And I think that you would leave with a lot more questions than you have with answers. But that's what I love when I do studies. And I guess this one, you know what I mean? Because there is so much around us as far as death is concerned, right? Because there's so much around us, this would be a good passage to unpack. But there's just so much to it that I would not do it justice, and I don't think I would do you guys any justice if I gave you just some quick answer, right? So there's that. Oh, it's Queen. Hey, what up, Queen Sugar? What's up, girl? What's up? Good to see you. All right, y'all, that is it. Let me get my ass up out of here. I hope you enjoyed this overtime live. Y'all see my black ass is in hiding. I am Miguel. My StreamYard. I'm using free StreamYard. Got the duck in the corner. I got the basic background. But, I will end with, turning up. I know this doesn't seem like it's the type of live stream where you turn up, but damn it, we did it anyways. Have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend. I want to thank Ray Triggs for the $20 dysfunctional family support. I appreciate that. I want to thank Terry Me for being a member for a long ass time, one of my first. And I want to thank LaDon for joining the codification squad and for giving me those words of kindness. I really do appreciate all that. And with that being said, oh, thank you, Butter Pecan. Appreciate that. With that being said, we can still turn up. Peace. Happy Friday. Watch us turn up. Watch us turn up. Yeah. People get so confused. How is this doctor in the hood? Navigate the system, refuse to let it take my mind, body, and soul. You see what's good is misunderstood. Divine got me not sold out, but walked in the fire. Develop a real team. Try tested and true. Desire to really reach one, teach one, and learn from one. In a sector where they snake one, break one. Ain't no loyalty, niggas is fake. I see all them leaves. I got the rake, yeah. Let's go ahead and rake them up. Bag them up, yeah. Let's go ahead and bag them up. Rake them up. Let's body bag them up. What's the point when they don't play by the rules of engagement? They on that fake shit. Get it? They can't hang when the pressure cookers on top temp. That's when they resort to doxing, calling jobs in, weak-minded with weak views and tight wigs. All of their time spent watching YouTube with no riz. Kids in the background screaming for attention they don't get. For some cash apps and AdSense checks already spent. For some cash apps and AdSense checks already spent. Watch us turn up. 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 Shout out to the codification squad. Shout out to the green team. Shout out to the code breakers. Shout out to code fam. Watch us turn up. Watch us turn up. Watch us turn up. Watch us turn up.